Claiming business mileage when you run an electric vehicle via salary sacrifice or personal lease. How do the figures stack up? It's an interesting one, this one. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the channel, folks. JD here again. An interesting video today. So thanks very much for your support over the last few weeks, especially with like the Porsche Macan EV video. That's gained quite a lot of traction. So thanks very much for your continued support. I got a comment on one of the videos saying it's all very well and good salary sacrificing a car, but what about when you want to claim business mileage? Because as you'll see in a minute, the deal isn't always quite as attractive. And the reason for that is if you run a personal electric vehicle, so you own it yourself, you've got a PCP on it, you've got a personal lease on it, you can claim the full HMRC approved mileage rate, which are 45 pence per mile for the first 10,000 miles a year, followed by 25 pence per mile after that. However, the HMRC approved mileage rate, if it's a company car and salary sacrifice falls into that category because the company is leasing it on your behalf, is only 7 pence. It used to be 5 pence. It's recently gone up to 7 pence per mile. So let's say we do a lot of business miles. Is it actually still as financially good value to salary sacrifice? So what I thought I'd do is get a price for a Tesla. So I was going to nip over to the Tesla GB site. Some cracking deals at the moment. This is May 2025. Some really good deals on the Teslas, both the Model 3 and the Model Y at the moment. So I've spec'd up a very standard, bottom of the range, if you like, Model 3 rear wheel drive. And if we go to the financing options, we'll choose personal contract hire. So that's basically a personal lease. Let's say we're going to do quite a lot of miles. So let's say 15,000 miles a year in both examples. We'll make it a 1 + 35, so no big upfront deposit. That's coming out, look, including road fund license, no maintenance or tyres, but including your road fund license, £484 a month. Okay. So what we're going to do is one of my spreadsheets, which you can purchase from my channel. If you want to find out how you can get yourself one, email me just here. For some reason you can't see my email address. There you go. So I was looking for my email address there. Email me there, and you can find out how you can get your hands on the spreadsheet, which I'm going to be using today. Now, this is a salary sacrifice tool sheet, which enables you to calculate approximately what your net pay would be if you were to join a company salary sacrifice scheme. But at the bottom, something I haven't shown much on the channel yet is kind of this comparison tab I've made. So maybe you want to compare a current car you've got. Maybe it's a diesel car, maybe it's on finance. You put all your running costs in there, put your MPG in, how much petrol or diesel costs you per litre, and then compare it with your charging rates at home. Maybe you've got a cheaper overnight tariff. I'm on Octopus Intelligent. If you want to join Octopus, there's a referral link in my channel description. Grab yourself 50 quid, and I'll get 50 quid as well, so that's nice. So that's what this section of the spreadsheet will let us do. But rather than comparing, say, a diesel with an electric, I thought we'd use it to compare a personal electric with a salary sacrificed electric. So I'm going to put this in here. So my car finance was 484 on the personal lease on the Model 3 rear-wheel drive. Let's say we insure it. We have to insure it ourselves. We'll assume we have to insure the salary sacrifice car ourselves as well. Let's say that's, I don't know, 75 quid a month. And we've got no road tax, so we've got nothing else. Now, because these are both electric and we're going to assume we're charging at the same rate, we don't need to really worry about that because the difference is going to be the same on both. But there is an option on the spreadsheet to put in your unit price of electricity and how efficient your car is, but I'm not really interested because it's going to be the same in both examples here. Now, let's go back to the Tesla site and get a price for a business contract hire lease under the same terms. So it's 484. So let's change this to business contract hire. Again, 15,000 miles, 1 month up front, 35 equal payments. That's coming out at 374. Now, If it's a personally used company car, the employer can't get all the VAT back. They can only reclaim half of the VAT. You can claim all the VAT back on any maintenance element, but on the rental, it's only 50%. So the amount that we need to salary sacrifice is roughly 374 plus 10%, so half the standard 20% VAT rate. So our salary sacrifice amount is going to be 374 times 1.1. £411.40. So that's how much would be taken from your gross salary. So let's stick that into the salary spreadsheet. So let's assume we've got a standard tax code, which is currently 1257L. Unfortunately, it's fixed until at least 2028. We're going to assume nothing else. So no student loans, no other salary sacrifice, no pension contributions. Let's just work on the gross salary only. We go over to this side of the spreadsheet and we're going to say, okay, we're going to salary sacrifice, what was it, 411.40. So that is 411.40 times 12. So that is 493,680 to come off our gross salary, leaving a salary, let's say we earn 50,000 a year gross, which means our new salary for tax and NI purposes is 45,063. Then we need to do our benefit in kind. So I won't go into too much about benefit in kind here, but it's essentially company car tax. It's how much comes off your personal allowance effectively. And in this case, this car's got a value of 39,990. So we stick that into the spreadsheet here, 39,990. It's 2%, so £799.80 comes off our tax code, and then we pay tax at our standard rate. So in this case, it's going to be 20%. So we're going to pay about £160 a year. So what's that? £14 a month, £15 a month. The spreadsheet has reduced our tax code to 1177L. So our net take-home pay is going to be 2,983.86, and that car is going to cost us roughly 309.54, a saving of 24.76% on the standard business contract hire rate with the 10% VAT. So from the outset, salary sacrifice is cheaper. Look, 309.54 versus 484. However, let's now assume we're going to claim some mileage. So let's say we do 500 miles a month business mileage. So I'm going to go over to here, look, not worrying about the price of diesel or petrol, obviously, but we're going to put mileage allowance, yes, total business miles a month, 500, and we get the full HMRC approved rate of 45 pence per mile. Now, this will also let us calculate any mileage over 833 miles a month or 10,000 miles a year, but we're only doing 500 a month. But if you want to use the spreadsheet for more, just make sure you put 25p in that box. The spreadsheet will let you, so what I did here, if your employer doesn't pay the full mileage rate, let's say they pay 25p a mile, you can claim the extra 20 pence per mile and get it credited to your tax code. Now, that doesn't mean you get 20 pence extra a mile. You get 20%, you get 20 pence at your standard tax rate. So if you're 20% taxpayer, you're going to get 4p a mile extra. But so the spreadsheet will let you do that, and then it will recalculate your tax code to work out what your new net pay is going to be. But we're getting the full HMRC approved rate, so we don't need to worry about that. So let's look at this again. So 484 on the personal lease, 75 quid insurance, 500 business miles a month, which means we'd get £225 for our business mileage, which means that car cost us effectively net after we've received our mileage, but excluding any charging rates, £334 a month. If we go over to this side, where the car is 309.54 a month, own insurance again £75 a month, business miles a month 500, but the mileage rate, as I said on an EV, if it's a company car, is only 7 pence per mile. That means we'd only be able to claim £35 in mileage versus 225 on our personally owned or leased EV, which means we are £15 a month worse off salary sacrificing versus personally leasing. Now, obviously, if we do more miles, we're going to be more worse off. Let's say we do 1,000 miles a month. Sorry, not 10,000 miles a month. Okay, so that's £416.67 because we're crossing that threshold into the lower mileage rate, which means that car is going to only cost us, I say only, £142.33 a month, excluding any charging we pay for. And in this case, 1,000 miles a month on the salary sacrifice car, we're only going to be able to claim £58.33. Yeah, that's not right, is it? That's not right, because that's assuming we can only claim up to 1,000 miles. Yeah, okay. I'll just put 7p in that box as well. There we go. That's better. £70 a month. Okay, so that means our total outgoings are effectively £5 because we're paying £75 insurance, but we got £75 back for business mileage, £70 back from business mileage, which gives us a saving of minus £172.21. So if you use your EV a lot for business travel, in this example, it could be cheaper to personally lease it yourself. You're obviously saving on company car tax as well, if that ever increases. You know, it could go up to, you know, it's going to go up to 3%, 5%, whatever. If you earn £60,000 a year, obviously the car is going to be a little bit cheaper. So that's going to cost us $265 a month. So in this example, 10,000 miles a year, sorry, 1,000 miles a month, that's coming at £127 in favour of the personally leased car. So it's quite an interesting scenario, isn't it? Thank you very much if you're watching this video. Sorry, I didn't catch your name, but thanks very much for suggesting that, because it's a really interesting topic. So salary sacrifice is not always the best, especially if you're in a proper, true, fully fledged salary sacrifice scheme where insurance and everything is included, because they can often be quite a lot more for certain people. Obviously, if your insurance is normally very, very high, it can be beneficial to go down the true salary sacrifice EV route. Sometimes it's better to insure yourself. I hope that was marginally interesting. If you want to get your hands on either of my spreadsheets, this one is the HP PCP calculator, early settlement calculator, that kind of thing, or the salary sacrifice spreadsheet that you've just seen, please do email me just here. Please do hit the subscribe button if you like what you've seen. Please give this video a thumbs up and hit that bell icon so that you're notified as and when I release new content. And until next time, thanks very much for watching. Take care.